Sit with me here, beside this flicker of awakening. I invite you to take a deep, conscious breath and feel the weight pressing down upon your shoulders. For years, perhaps for lifetimes, you have mistaken this pressure for the heavy burden of existence. But in truth, it is the weight of an invisible crown. You were birthed into this world under the vibrational frequency of Life Path 8. To the outside world, you are the Titan, a powerhouse of manifestation, an ancient soul driven to conquer the peaks of the material and the heights of authority. But I know your secret. I know that in the silence of those white nights, when the stage lights fade and the world goes quiet, you stand there wrapped in a solitude that has no name. You ask yourself, if I am the architect of prosperity, why does my life feel like a relentless gamble? Why is it that every time your fingers brush the summit of glory, an unseen storm rises to sweep it all away, forcing you to rebuild from the ashes once more, with bleeding palms and a weary heart? Have you ever whispered to the dark, wondering if this number is not a gift, but a karmic curse? The visceral reality I am about to reveal to you is this. Life Path 8 is not a stroke of random fortune. It is a soul contract, a rigorous, sacred agreement you signed before descending into this density. You chose this path to master the ultimate lesson, the transcendence of power. Welcome to Numerology Chronicle. This is no place for superficial divination. This is a cathedral for the souls who hunger to return to their true essence. Today, we move beyond dry calculations. We embark together on an alchemical journey. I will lead you through the shadows of the Chained King archetype to understand why your life has been a cycle of creation and collapse. We shall decode the Hermetic law, as above, so below. So below, unmasking how the imbalance between your spiritual depth and material hunger is ravaging your peace. I will not merely point to your scars. I will place into your hands the 3 golden keys to turn the wheel of destiny. We will learn to navigate instant karma, a harsh privilege reserved only for those vibrating at the frequency of the 8. Stay with me until the end of this pilgrimage. I will guide you through an integrity audit, a method of spiritual accounting to heal the leaks in your infinity flow. If you are ready to shed the curse and ascend to the throne of awakening, then let us begin. Because your story, my Titan, truly begins only now. Imagine yourself as a solitary lighthouse, standing defiant against a vast and thundering ocean. The world gazes upon you and sees a magnificent structure, a brilliant beam of light piercing the darkness, guiding lost ships to shore. They seek you out in their moments of fragility. They lean upon your resilience to find their own safe harbor. But amidst the roar of the waves and the howling wind, does anyone ever stop to ask if the lighthouse is cold? Does anyone ask if it is tired? The sacred solitude of the number 8 is not the absence of people. It is the ache of being perceived as so powerful that the world assumes you never need a place to lean. You carry the world in silence, swallowing your own tears to maintain the majestic composure of a leader. You have become so accustomed to being the pillar for others that you have forgotten how to allow yourself the grace of being human. This agony deepens as you find yourself ensnared in a karmic loop I call the cycle of Sisyphus, a repetitive script of creation and collapse. You possess a rare, extraordinary capacity to architect empires, to transmute primordial ideas into tangible treasures. But look back honestly upon your journey. How many times have your fingers grazed the crown of success, only to watch it vanish into the ether at the final hour? You are like a diligent alchemist, sculpting a magnificent citadel of sand upon the shores of destiny, only to watch an invisible tide surge from the void and sweep your labor into the depths of the great sea. To begin again from nothing, when the shoulders are weary and the well of faith has run dry, is a form of soul torture that only those within the vibrational frequency of the 8 can truly comprehend. You ask, where did I go wrong? Why does the universe strip away what I bought with blood and tears just as the harvest appears? To understand this storm, look into the story of Marcus, a mirror for the chained king archetype within you. Marcus was no laggard. He was a titan of the material realm, a man who built a fortress of power from the bricks of relentless effort. He had it all: the reverence of peers, the status, and the wealth that many crave. Yet, in the silent depths of his being, Marcus was haunted by a paralyzing fear of failure. This fear forced him to don a cold iron mask. He began to micromanage every soul and every circumstance, believing that only a will of iron could avert disaster. But that very mask transformed his fortress into a cell of sacred solitude. His loved ones drifted away, unable to touch the heart of a man who saw only objectives. When the imbalance between his material empire and his essence reached its breaking point, his soul contract was activated. A betrayal, a legal upheaval. And suddenly, Marcus stood in the center of his hollow mansion, realizing that power without alignment is but a castle built upon shifting sands. Your fear of failure is not merely about the loss of assets. It is the fear of losing your perceived self-worth. It makes you a harsh judge of yourself and a stern master to others, turning existence into a race without a finish line. In your pursuit of the tangible, you inadvertently push your most precious relationships into the shadows. But, dear soul, I want you to breathe deeply and hear this. You have not failed. The upheavals surrounding you are not divine punishments. They are the most rigorous diamond forging processes in the cosmos. You carry the 8 because your ancient soul was brave enough to sit for an initiation that other numbers could not endure. The universe does not choose the weak to carry the weight of a titan. What you are experiencing is an alchemical purification. You are in the crucible where the great fire burns away the leaden ego of greed to reveal the golden wisdom of the sovereign. You are being tempered to become a leader who wields not just authority, but a vast, boundless compassion. We pause here at the end of this chapter to allow you the space to look upon your scars with a new sense of grace. See now that this darkness was not meant to drown you, but to prepare you for a more luminous ascent. I will wait for you in the next segment, where we shall decode the hidden ciphers behind the symbol of the infinite. We will explore why alignment is the only key to mastering your true power. But why? Why did destiny choose you for this arduous script and not another soul? To understand this, we must look away from the ink on the page and gaze into the very geometry of your being. Imagine the number 8, not as a mere digit, but as a living entity. In its primordial state, it is the horizontal lemniscate, the symbol of infinity, representing the eternal, shoreless flow of the universe. But when it was chosen as your life path, it was turned upright. It became a divine conduit, a bridge between the heavens and the earth, between the sacred and the profane. This is your first key. You are the living embodiment of the most ancient Hermetic law. As above, so below. Observe the geometry of the 8. It is composed of 2 perfect spheres, interlaced in a dance of eternal balance. The lower sphere represents the material realm, the currency of the world, tangible assets, authority, and the physical monuments you so deeply crave to build. The upper sphere represents the spiritual realm, transcendence, acute wisdom, the essence, and a boundless compassion. The tragedy of most titans walking this earth is that they surrender 99% of their energy to fortifying the lower sphere, making it vast, imposing, and magnificent, while leaving the upper sphere hollow, brittle, and withered. In the sacred geometry of the cosmos, if the upper sphere lacks the weight of presence, If it is not grounded in the spiritual, the entire structure will inevitably collapse under its own gravity. Those moments where you experienced total dissolution just as you reached the summit, they were not punishments. They were the universe's own recalibration mechanism. When you lean too far into the material while neglecting the soul, the 8 operates like a clogged hourglass. It is forced to shatter so that the energy may be reborn and return to its primordial point of alignment. The power you wield carries an exceptionally high vibrational frequency, and this is why you encounter the phenomenon known as instant karma. For other numbers, the echoes of cause and effect may arrive late, like a distant whisper after many years. But for you, the energy is so potent and direct that the seed you sow is the fruit you harvest in your very next breath. Your energetic flow is like a high voltage current surging through a delicate wire. It has the power to illuminate an entire kingdom of prosperity, but it can also incinerate everything in its path if you do not learn to conduct it with a soul of absolute integrity and purity. This is the rigorous privilege of the Titan. The universe observes you more closely than any other, for you have been granted the divine blueprint to reshape the physical world. And one who holds such power cannot and will not be permitted to let the ego lead them into the shadows. View your life as a grand alchemical journey. You cannot transmute lead into gold without first passing through the fires of purification. The trials that relentlessly beset you are, in truth, a form of divine favoritism. Many say the 8 is the number of luck, but I tell you, it is the number of self-mastery. You must experience loss to grasp the true value of sacred stewardship. You must endure the sacred solitude of the mountaintop to hear the whisper of your ancient soul. Each time you stumble, the universe is inviting you to gaze back at your upper sphere. Are you truly awake? Are you leading with love or merely with imposition? When you learn to stand unshakable amidst the roaring currents of wealth without being swept away, when you can hold ultimate power while maintaining the warm heart of a servant, that is the moment the curse dissolves. The 8 is the embodiment of absolute justice. It is not biased. It is a perfect mirror, reflecting precisely what you project into the void. If your core is a hollow vacuum of self-interest, the universe will fill it with upheaval to force your soul to expand. But the moment you begin to infuse your upper sphere with ethics, compassion, and alignment, a miracle occurs. The lower sphere will automatically be filled with a sustainable prosperity, an abundance that no storm can ever wash away. You will no longer need to chase after the world. The world will gravitate toward the frequency of an awakened essence. We have stood together before the mirror to witness the mystical laws governing your life. But understanding is only the threshold. You need the keys to unlock the gate and exit the loop. I will not leave you in the shadows of theory. In the next chapter, I will reveal 3 alchemical secrets, specific, potent actions to help you master your sovereign power and transform your life path into an eternal symphony of abundance. How then do you cease this solitary war against the elements? How do you begin to walk the luminous path that the divine blueprint has prepared for an awakened sovereign? Allow me to place into your hands 3 alchemical keys. These are not mere platitudes. They are sacred ciphers designed to recalibrate the colossal energy surging through your veins. The first key, the alchemy of circulation. Gaze once more upon your symbol, the infinite. Its very essence is not accumulation, but circulation. If you seek only to hoard, to grasp tightly onto wealth and authority for the self alone, you inadvertently create an energetic bottleneck in the capillaries of the universe. When energy is congested for too long, it is destined to erupt to find release. This is why losses and collapses appear as an inevitable consequence. My guidance for you is to open the valve of your own flow. Dedicate at least 5% of your abundance or a sacred window of your time each week to serve those in fragility without the whisper of a hidden agenda. When you give proactively, you broadcast a potent frequency to the cosmos. I am a conduit for sustainable prosperity. This single act keeps your 8 vibration in constant motion, allowing wealth and monumental opportunities to gravitate towards you as naturally and rhythmically as your own breath. The second key, the pillar of integrity. This is perhaps the heaviest key you must carry, the pillar of integrity. For the number 8, truth is not merely a moral standard, it is the celestial armor that protects your entire empire. Right now, let us perform a vital ritual to mend your energetic leaks, the integrity audit. Find a moment of stillness. If you must, pause this transmission. Take a parchment and divide it in 2. In the left column, record your most radiant achievements, those born of genuine effort. In the right column, find the courage to face your shadows. Record the moments you drifted from your core values, an unkept promise, a minor deception in business, or a moment where you used power to suppress another out of egoic pride. Why is this essential? Because with the instant karma of the 8, every fracture in the right column is a crack in the foundation of the citadel you are building. When you acknowledge and mend these deviations, you are performing true alchemy, transmuting the dross of the ego into the diamond of alignment. Only when your foundation is absolute integrity does your power become invincible against the shifting winds of human nature. The third key, the vacuum of stillness. The final key is the secret to ensuring you never succumb to exhaustion in the race for legacy. The vacuum of stillness. The instinct of a titan is extroverted. It is to conquer the tangible. But the faster you run, the more likely you are to lose your internal compass. I ask of you exactly 15 minutes a day. No devices, no objectives, no calculations. Simply sit and observe the breath. You may ask, why does a soul built for action require such silence? Understand this. Stillness is how you restore gravity to the upper sphere of your 8. When the mind settles, you create a powerful magnetic vacuum. In physics, a vacuum automatically draws matter toward it. In the spiritual realm, when a life path 8 achieves internal stillness, they no longer have to struggle to chase power or wealth. Instead, they become a great magnet, naturally and miraculously attracting prosperity and synchronicity into their experience. Your journey from this moment forward is no longer a weary struggle for survival. It is a grand, conscious creation. You now understand why you were tested. You have seen the fissures in your own soul, and you now hold the ciphers to turn the wheel of destiny. Do not let these keys lie dormant in your intellect. Begin with the smallest action today, for the world is waiting for the rise of a sovereign who wears not only a crown of gold, but the luminous radiance of ancient wisdom. My dear friend, the journey of Life Path 8 has never been a level path toward glory. It is an infinite loop of refinement, where every stumble is but the strike of the divine alchemist's hammer, tempering your ancient soul into a blade of exquisite precision. Now, as we stand at the threshold of this chapter's end, gaze once more upon the symbol of infinity glowing within your mind's eye. Do you still perceive the 8 as a heavy curse that imprisoned you in sacred solitude and loss? Or have you realized that it is, in fact, a magnificent grace, a testament of absolute trust that the universe has placed in a soul as courageous and formidable as yours? You were not birthed to exist in the shadows or within the dull safety of the mundane. You were born for the summit, to architect legacies that endure through time, and to manifest this truth to the world, that true power lies not in the weight of what you possess, but in the depth of what you can surrender while remaining whole. From this moment on, Your crown will no longer be forged in the fires of fear or cold control. It shall be cast in the gold of absolute integrity, adorned with the jewels of compassion, and illuminated by the radiance of an awakened essence. Never forget, you are the sovereign within the kingdom of your own divine blueprint. From this second forward, every decision you make, every word you speak, and every nascent thought you harbor carries the immense weight of a titan. Shed the iron mask. Allow the infinite energy to flow through you without obstruction, and know that the cosmos stands in alignment with you when you choose the path of the heart. You no longer need to battle for recognition, for your worth is etched into the eternal laws of the stars. If these words have resonated within the deepest chambers of your being, if you feel you are no longer a lighthouse in sacred solitude amidst a dark sea, then join me in a sacred vow to the universe. This is not merely an interaction in the digital void. It is a true energetic activation. Leave a comment below with the most powerful affirmation of an 8. I am a conscious and prosperous number, 8. This affirmation is the milestone marking the dissolution of the curse and the dawn of a new era of power in your life. Do not forget to subscribe to Numerology Chronicle and activate the notification bell so we may continue our journey together in decoding the soul's greatest mysteries. Every like you offer is a continuation of this energy, helping this message find its way to other chained kings who are longing for the light. Thank you for gracing this space with your presence, for listening, and for having the courage to face your own reflection. Step out into the world with steady shoulders and an expansive heart. Your most magnificent journey, my Titan, has only just begun. I shall meet you at the summit of success and profound peace. Blessings and light from Numerology Chronicle.